welcome to another video. Today we're going to use some of the seasonal materials that are available right now around me. We're going to use grapes. We have wild grapes growing in our creek area and they are perfect right now. So we're going to use some of the wild grapes, dahlias, and hydrangeas that are blooming right now. Let's get started. I'm going to be using this gray sort of antique looking urn. The reason I'm using this kind of tall urn is because I really want you to see the grapes cascading over the sides. Let's start with the grape leaves. These grape leaves are beautiful because they're not so huge. They're different varieties of grapes. Sometimes the grape leaves are really big and floppy and hard to use, but these are nice, sort of small and have all these beautiful little tendrils. So I can't wait to show you what we're going to do with these. I'm going to set a sort of a line. I'm going to use sort of short pieces here. I don't want to be too tall because I want to kind of concentrate the arrangement in the center here. But instead of a traditional sort of triangular shaped arrangement, we're going to do more of a crescent. That's what all the cool kids are doing nowadays, right? So we're going to set some longer lines on either sides and then cluster the flowers in the middle at a lower level. And that kind of gives you sort of a modified modern crescent, even though we're using a very traditional urn type container. I do like the more free-form, more free-flowing look of the crescents instead of a, very stale looking mounded, rounded arrangement. And the stems are so sturdy on these grapevines, it's wonderful. Just going to green in lightly because there's a lot we're going to be putting in here. Gigantic dahlias. These I think are a little bit wilty, so I'm going to not use the tenderest parts of the grape leaf. I think that they're not going to hold up very well. Okay. I'm going to cut the tip off. Sometimes you get a stem like this and the new growth is too weak to use. Just snip it off. You can use the rest of the stems. Okay, I think that's all the greening in I'm going to need to do. And then the grapes did come on those grape leaves, but it's hard to put them in since the grape leaves are sort of directional and the grapes are really heavy. So I cut the grapes off and wired them onto these wooden picks. So I'm going to use these long ones in the front on this one side here. I'll show you. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side at the diagonal. So this could be viewed from both sides. Okay. And then we have one more cluster of grapes here that I'm going to maybe put in the middle so that hopefully we can see some of that as we arrange. So you can see the grapes. Really fun, really excited to use this awesome plant material. And the grapes are great right now because they formed enough so that they're nice clusters, but they're not ripe so that they're not falling off. And they're nice and stiff. And the grapes do not need to be in water. They'll be fine on the wirewood picks. We have beautiful hydrangeas right now. I've got lots of hydrangeas. But today we're going to use some of these purpley lavender ones and these hot pink ones. I'm going to try to not go too crazy with the hydrangeas because we still have these huge dahlias to add in. So I'm going to sink one down here. The purple one right here, kind of opposite where I put the grapes. And then I'm going to use one of these hot pink ones. It's been really hot here and every day I stress about the hydrangeas. I go out there at 6 a.m. to water them down. We've got some scorched tops, but overall they've been holding up pretty well. We haven't had the heat that some of you had in the southeast, but here in Northern California, we had a few 100-degree days. But the nice thing is it always cools off at night here. Overnight it's always in the 60s or even in the 50s. So it doesn't get hot. It's not sustained hotness. Okay, so I've added in some of the hydrangeas kind of at a diagonal, kind of opposite where I put the grape clusters. And then we have these incredible dahlias. It's dahlia season. Love dahlias. Here's some of these really, really beautiful pink dahlias. I'm going to add in here. Just because they're so huge, I'm just going to do kind of one on each side. Keeping the side buds, which are so beautiful. Okay. And then these are some of my favorite dahlias. These almost black burgundy dahlias. I think this is really fun. Here. There. Set my flowers down a little lower so that the grape leaves kind of, you can still see them. Might pull them up a little bit. Look at this gorgeous one with all the side buds. Love the side buds. They're sort of like your filler flowers or your accent flowers that you can use when you have dahlias. Yes. Oh, there's our cluster of little grapes here. Don't want that to get lost. Okay. Pretty good already. Have some of these burgundy red cherry colored little mini carnations I'm going to use because we have so many large flowers. I wanted to have something break it up. I thought this is a very pretty color that's just between the hot pink and the burgundy that we're using. Just a little bit here and there. I'm going to set it kind of deep in. Yeah, and I think we are done. Just a really quick, fun arrangement with beautiful hydrangeas, dahlias, and grapes. And these luscious colors.